And you, okay, so you finished your college career at the University of Arizona. What happens next?
Man, I signed. I went to a Casino del Sol All-Star game, which was a pretty good bowl game. A lot of guys got picked, and I signed with a management. I signed with an agency at that time, and they were telling me a lot of good things, man. It was like because a lot of little things started happening, man. I was getting ready for the draft. I mean, I already after the whole season, everything that transpired, it wasn't the best, but I knew I still was going to get an opportunity or a shot. So I put a head start on my training. I started training for the pro day, and everything. I'm training as hard as I can. I was plenty strong, man. I had about 340 on the bar. I was doing it for 3 reps. At the time, I was training with a bodybuilder guy because I wanted to try to get my bench up. So I did it. I had 3 reps on 340 on the bench press. I hit that first rep, came down the second rep, hit it, popped my pec. Went out like a rubber band. Pec went out, doing a little too much weight, trying to jump ahead of the game because I wanted to be ready for the draft, man. I just wanted to show these guys that I was a different type of guy. And even through that, I played in the All-Star game, had an incredible All-Star game, man. And I've been blessed, man, because my defensive coordinator in the All-Star game was Dick Tomey. Rest in peace, Dick Tomey, man. He coached Arizona back in the Desert Swarm days with the Teddy Bruschi days, and Dick Tomey was a great man. He mentored me, man, for those couple days. He could just tell how much I just determined I was, and just to get to NFL, and just he would just tell me little things, like he would just give me little advice, and I will never forget that, forget all the things he gave me. He's passed away now, but I got his number still in my phone, same number, but you call it, and and he really told me a lot of things. He told me you're gonna be a great NFL player. A lot. He told me you love rushing. I could tell. He'll come up behind me. I remember we were walking off pass rush, and he was like, "Man, Buffalo's loving you. They're loving your rushing." And little things like that, man. And it really sinked in. And you think you're gonna have a good career, you're gonna have a good NFL career, and pro day comes. And I'm ready, man. I know I'm gonna show these guys what I can do. My football drills. Nobody can do drills like me on the field. So I'm like, I'm still gonna get a shot. All of a sudden, it starts snowing, hailing, sleeting, whatever bad weather you can think of in the world. We had it at that very moment. We ran our 40s inside. They went outside and only saw Nick throw the ball. That was it. Our pro day was over. I was on the front page of the Arizona News, walking off the field like this with my head down, and my brother right behind me holding my bag. My brother, the one I'm going to be in Abu Dhabi with, holding my bag, man. Came to pro day with me, and I'll never forget it, man. It's days like that really make me see how life, man. You don't know where life is going to take you, but it does. So I didn't get drafted. I didn't even get picked up, man. I'm bouncing around. I'm calling whoever I can call. I'm working. I'm trying to get somewhere. And then one of my guys tell me about, man, go over there overseas, man. They do they play football over there. They're like an NFL Europe. They used to play good football over there. So, he put a call in, and a couple teams were interested in me. And I ended up signing with a team in Sweden called the Uppsala 86ers. And, I didn't know where life was taking me, but I just knew I was going, So that's all. I used to walk around in Sweden and ride my bike and look up in the sky and say, "Where are you taking me?" I was like, "Why am I here?" But I loved it, man. I met so many genuine people in Europe, in Sweden, and I met relationships that will last a lifetime. One of my best friends, Ludwig, he's still out there. He owns a couple bars out there, and I met a lot of good people out there in Sweden, man. And I wouldn't pass it out for the world.
So at some point here, you realize MMA is the route. And if I'm not mistaken, was Kamaru the biggest influence in that? When does the exact transition occur?
Man, I still remember when I was training for the draft, and it was he was making his debut in 2012 when I was training for the draft, and he made his debut in Nebraska where he went to school, in Kearney. And I flew out there for him, and that's when I first started. At first I was like, holy crap, this dude, you want to get hit in the face? Like, this is what you want to do now? And I went out there, and, I was kind of in the background in the cut, just kind of watching everything. And I was just like, I went out and with Michael Johnson and these guys, and that's when I really started seeing it, man, and I started soaking it up, and I fell in love with it, man. I completely fell in love with the sport and the determination and the work ethic, and I just started making mental reps, mental notes, while I was still training for the NFL, while I was still pushing, while I was overseas. I was still doing everything I needed to do, man, and I was making mental reps, mental notes, and then. And when I came back from Sweden, I felt like I got import player of the year in Sweden. I went out there and completely dominated, as you should. They gave me import player of the year. I came back, ready to go because I honed my skills. At that very moment I came back, I was standing up now. In college a lot, I didn't stand up a lot playing defensive end. But when I was in Sweden, they let me stand up, so I got comfortable at rushing the edge at a stand up, and I felt unstoppable. And I came back to America ready for NFL teams. So I signed with an agent, and still didn't get a knock. I got down to San Diego. I was training with DJ Fluker. He was the right guard at the time. I lived with DJ Fluker. We went about 2 years out there, and training with him, going to the facility with him. Seeing all the coaches, all the trainers, and we started building that camaraderie. And I thought I was gonna get a shot, and I still did it. And then at that very moment, the girlfriend that I had at the time, she then got pregnant. I was living in San Diego, and she was in Texas. And that changed the whole game because I ended up, transferring and coming back to Texas because she was pregnant. So I ended up coming back to Texas because I had to take care of the fam. So I got a job. I was working at LA Fitness at the time. I was an assistant general manager. And I loved it, and I made money for them. They were going to give me my own LA Fitness because I sold, $50,000 for them in personal training. And all these people that will come up and talk to me, and they'll 2 words, and I'll put them through a 15-minute workout, and they'll sign right up for $6,000. And they're like, "How is he doing this?" And I realized that whatever I do, I'm always gonna do it good. Wherever I go, I guess that's a gift you get from God. Whatever you do it the best you can. And I quit. And all these guys were telling me like, "Man, you're so healthy, you're so strong. You can do this when you're 50 years old, man. I can do this when I'm 80, 60, 70 years old. But when I still have my legs, I can jump, run, kick. It just made sense to me to do it. And I was training with a guy at the time called Coach Lawrence at the Dungeon, Power Cardio in Arlington, Texas. Crazy dude, man. I still talk to him here and there to this day, but he was a crazy guy because he put me on a path because we would go train, and I was training on my lunch breaks. And I look over to him during my lunch break, and I said, "Man, Coach," and this is my exact words. I said, "Coach, man, after we got done training, I said, fuck this shit, man. Let's fight." He said, "All right, fuck it, let's go." And after that, man, I took 5 months. 5 months, I just got my weight down. I was around 280. I took 5 months, I got my weight down to like 255. Then I started training with Stephen Wright. And he trained, Johnny Hendricks and all these guys. He still trains down there in Fort Worth at Metroflex. He has his gym out there, and awesome kickboxing coach, man. One of the best to do it, And I started training with him, soaking up all his knowledge. And then I ended up going to Arizona because I wanted to go back to school because I still knew my strength coaches at the University of Arizona. So I went back there, and I started working with my strength coaches a little bit. And then I started training with Chris Carriasso. He fought Demetrius Johnson for the title. He owns his little gym in Tucson. So I started training with him, man, and training with the 125ers, 135ers. That's where I started my career. I started training with the little guys because I wanted to be everything like a little guy because I never felt like I was 260. I always felt like I'm quicker than guys that are 140, 120. So it's like I always wanted to train with these guys. So I kind of like jumped into their lifestyle. Wake up at 6 in the morning, roll over, just throw on something and go run the creek. And then we'll have this pipe that we'll carry. It's like a big, heavy, like 40-pound pipe that we'll carry. And we'll be running, right? And we'll say switch. And you'll give the pipe to somebody else. Casey Kenny, he's in the, I lived with Casey when I was out there. He's in the UFC now. But we would run with this pipe. And the people, it's crazy. There's no way to hold it. There's no proper form. There's nothing. It's just run with this heavy-ass pipe until it's time for you to switch. So I'm running, and then he'll say switch, and I'll switch to a heavier pipe. And it's just, and it just strengthens all your little muscles in your body. And I built myself up, man, and I just jumped right in. No amateur fights, nothing.